Well, the tanks are just about ready for tile here. I already started laying tile in the others. As you see, they already started adding tile to the bottoms. The tile is to keep the salt water from reacting to the concrete. As you see here, basically it's mostly just mix, broken tile. It's cheap. Doesn't have to be pretty. After all, it's going to be in the bottom of saltwater tanks. Buying the broken tile is a lot cheaper. And it's easy to cut, fit to form. Once the tile work is done, I'll be ready to do the concrete work. You can see progress is moving. It's been raining for the last week. Plus the project was kind of on hold for a couple of weeks, which was nice. It had been running pretty steady for about 4 months. For us, it was pretty much 7 days a week, 16-hour days. So it was nice to have a couple of weeks just to kind of relax, overlook things. But it's definitely short-lived. At this point, it looks like work is going slow, but actually it's not. It's just one of those tedious points. Once it gets through this stage, things will start moving pretty quickly. The tanks are such an intricate part. This thing will be holding over 95,000 liters of water, so it takes a lot of tank space to do this. We still got to put in the floor sumps, level out the final grade. I got to finish putting in the main gutter pipe, run all the water out. I was going to do it this week, but since it's been raining, it's kind of hard to justify trying to glue pipe when it's damp and wet. We've just moved the drums, since we're using concrete. We move the drums underneath the spigots, catch the rainwater. So it still works quite well. But once these tanks go, things will start moving pretty fast. I'd say right now the construction is probably more than halfway finished. If we stay on the present time frame and everything keeps progressing as it has been, I'm comfortable to say we'll be in operation by midsummer next year. All in all, I'm very pleased with the work that they've done. Nice, clean lines. Good, clean work. Hollow blocks were made extra strong. Once we get the tanks done, we'll start concentrating heavy on putting in the trays and the the larvae cones, hooking up pumps, running all the final plumbing and wiring. That all moves pretty quick. Plus we still have to put an end on the end of the building there with a doorway. Another heavy doorway there. I'm debating on walling up those two windows. The darker in here, the better it is. I'd rather run 12-volt lighting down through here. Control the lighting, keep it dim. But all in all, this is video number 13. Everything's going nice and steady. It's continuing pretty nicely. I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of detail. I think I pretty much explained the tanks as they go. We started working on the trays. Bamboo racks, that is. There's one of them right there. So everything at this point will start progressing pretty quickly. We definitely have plenty of water. All of our water barrels are full, so we have more than enough water to get through the rest of the concrete cycles that we have to do on this. Garden's doing nicely. Helps supplement the diet. I love fresh vegetables. Show something here I had mentioned earlier. With the heavy rain, it's been raining for the last 4 days. Rained heavy last night. In fact, we had a pretty heavy rain this morning. I can show you that because as porous as the ground is here, you can see there's still standing water from the rain we just received. And one of the benefits, as you can see here, is that with all the rain that's come down, the water here is still very clean. Now this is in the inlet part. It doesn't have near the circulation that it has on the outside. And you can see here the water definitely is not brackish and brown. It's still clean and clear, which is what you would expect from pure salt water from this area. I'll walk over to the other side, which is where the main current is. And you can see even on that side, it's because this island being so small, it actually has a small footprint as far as runoff. It's not like you have large land mass and mountain ranges and rivers dumping off into the waterways like you have in most regions. Lunchtime! I heard. Yeah, I know you're neglecting me, but you love me still. Plus you're working. I can always fix me toast. Not like I'm helpless. Oh, see, she's insinuating I'm fat. See, as you can see here, the water's clean and pristine. It's not brown and brackish. I guarantee you most areas, if you're up by the shoreline with this type of rainfall, it'd be brackish water out 100 yards. That water you couldn't have coming into your circulation system. So if I have about 2,000 gallons in reserve all the time, it'd be adequate to get me through most of the rainy season. Because in between, when the rains and when there's a short break, the water here would clean so quickly that it'd be easy to come out here and replenish and top my tanks very easy. That's my boat. Pretty proud of the little beast. This is what's been bringing all the materials out here to the island for all the project. Nice little boat, 16 horsepower motor. Comfortable enough, it's fun to take out in the water. Here's our little island. Here's part of our ferocious security team. Everybody smile, I'll put you on Facebook. Just a wet day in the Philippines. Part of the 244 rain days we get here. This region is one of the wetter areas of the Philippines. But it grows great coconuts and it makes for a good even garden. I'm pleased with the garden. When you consider the high tide, we can actually have salt water standing in here until the tide goes back down. And when you consider how short the distances are to the ocean, and the fact that this is all new soil, this is a brand new garden, I'm quite pleased with the outcome of it. We haven't even started introducing humus and organic matter and compost to this. And you can see it's very productive soil. I can show you the problem that we had on this side though with the garden. I know this has nothing to do with lobster, but it's just life here in the Philippines, and that's partially what this is. The saltwater, we had a very high tide event about a week and a half ago. And although it didn't really affect the plants here along the fence too bad, it did affect our garden plants that we had up on bitter melon and beans that we had planted over here. We'll have to replant them eventually in raised boxes. The salt water was just a little too much on the raw root. But all in all, that's life here in the Philippines. So, the project progresses. I'll take another video in another 7 to 10 days. And as I always say when I conclude these things, until next time, y'all have a good one now.